Hi, friends. Sorry I was a bit late. I tried to give you a heads up that I needed to get hardened to martial arts since knew I would be a couple of minutes late, and yeah, I am. So we are in. Gosh, I seem to have lip gloss everywhere. Uh, it is Friday evening. This is our last live stream for today, and then we pick back up tomorrow morning, and we'll go throughout the day, wrap up tomorrow afternoon. We are going to pick up with the what they're Stampin' Up! Is called the Encore section in the catalog, and I'm gonna switch the camera around and keep talking. So I know that shocks you that I'm going to keep talking, right? Anyway, so this Encore section starts at page 74. Hi, Joyce, and goes through 80. And basically, these are what were bundled in last year's September to December catalog, or the January to April catalog, or the May to April annual catalog. And they carried over to the new catalog. There are, let's see, 20 bundles that carried over. And there are some stamp sets and other things that carried over that are not all in this section, um, but it's different for them to do it this way. So I wanted to highlight that, talk about them, and then I also wanted to talk about the online exclusives because I think that it's still new enough that we don't recognize the value of it or how to use it. So let's take a look at some of these. Now, these are no longer bundled pricing. So you can see the item numbers for all the pieces in the bundle, but they're sold separately at this point. So, and they're in alphabetical order. So, and like this Autumn Leaves, now that was in the September to December catalog. So we haven't seen it since December, but it has come back. Um, let's see. Trying to think of some that Enduring Beauty. That is the 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 bundle I mentioned earlier when we were talking about the new bundle this year that is called Layers of Beauty. So Enduring Beauty was the bundle in the spring catalog, the January to April catalog. That was the similar same concept uh, of having the stamp set, the dies, and the layering masks with it. That's really fun to work with. Forever Forest, I keep coming back to that. I haven't bought it yet, but it it has a lot. You could do a lot of things with that. Gone Fishing. Now you'll recognize that a lot of these, when they were in the catalog initially, had designer series paper that went with them. That paper is gone for the most part. I think there is the countryside carried over, but the others have not. This Layering Leaves is one of my favorites, my go-tos, partly because it has a punch that goes with it, but also the font is really pretty. Cute as cows. Okay, love that. So, a lot of my favorites here. Sentimental Park's been around for a little while, and I absolutely love it. I loved the paper that went with that. That was actually part of a suite that had two different bundles with it. The other bundle retired, but this one has carried over. So we've got some Christmas items in here too. So if you haven't seen Christmas outside of in the new part of the catalog, we have Merriest Trees. Yeah, Merriest Trees. We have, oh, I just saw it, the Sparkling Snowflakes. Um, the Forever Forest, I think that was in the holiday. I'm still old school. I still call it the holiday catalog. Um, so you'll find some of that in this section. So, but what I want to point out is if you have a favorite that was in a previous catalog and you don't see it here, that doesn't mean that it is, oh, wait a minute, gone, 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 forever gone. that's one of the places that the online exclusives picks up. And what do I mean by that? So the catalogs, believe it or not, have a lead time of a couple of years. They Stampin' Up! Probably has the annual catalog coming out. Um, Next year is probably already finished. The fall catalog next year is probably already finished. They're probably working on Celebration for 2026 at this point. So that means that if something sells unexpectedly well in the catalog, that there really isn't a way to insert it into that completed catalog. So the online store gives us a place to put those items, um, so that they can continue living, continue giving. It helps our inventory, and that stuff doesn't jump straight to the clearance rack. Now, one of my favorite ribbons, white glittered organdy ribbon, was on the online exclusives for a long time, and then suddenly it was gone. And oh, I hope I've hoarded enough because I love that ribbon so much. Um, but that's the thing. There was an embossing folder that took off like that a while back, and there just wasn't enough time for Stampin' Up! To get it back in stock before that catalog period ended, so they were able to kind of advertise it separate. That was before the online exclusives section of the online store was an option. So just a second ago, I pulled some of my favorites from the online exclusive shop, and I thought I would share some of those with you because if you are sticking straight to the catalog, if you haven't been onto the online store, you might be missing it. And I'll also take some screenshots and kind of walk you through where to find it. Be sure that I post a link to it to help you navigate to that part of the store. You can find all the kits that are available are part of the online exclusives, but they also have a separate link that is just to the kits. But let's take a look at some of the things that I have from the online store right now that I I think are amazing. One of the most recent ones I got is called Textured Timber. And this is a red rubber stamp set, but it gives you all of this texture with your stamp. I love having, this is a great way to add something to your cardstock, give a tone on tone, um, give a background. So if you don't have designer series paper with a stamp like this, you can create it. You can add interest to your label that you're putting your greeting on by stamping this really lightly. These stamps in beige are going to be amazing. I keep talking about beige and I have yet to show it to you. I don't think that's really fair. Do you? So let's grab something from the beige family. This, of course, basic beige. All right, so let's give some context. Um, Here is basic white to compare it to. Now we need vanilla. Let me go grab vanilla. I don't have that right on my desk, but it's nearby, I think. Um, yep, here's vanilla so that you can get a sense. See, when it's just that, you think, oh, that's vanilla, right? And then when we bring in the vanilla and you see this yellow, I mean, this looks pink next to this, and this looks gray next to this, at least in the lighting that I have right now. And maybe that's not fair, but the beige is, I think it's lighter than Sahara sand, and I, mm, oh, I don't have Sahara sand here, but you know what? I just realized there's a post coming up that is going to show you how this compares with a lot of previous colors, and not just beige, but yeah, the new colors overall, right? Yeah, I'm gifted like that. I didn't put it together, but it's a great tool. So, okay, back to our online exclusives. I just felt like I had to give the commercial since I was talking so much about it. Okay, so but this stamped in beige is going to be amazing. on our cards. This drizzling droplets, this sold out so fast when it was introduced, and I was so sad. I was stalking it because I love circles, and so this just calls to me. Um, it's just a beautiful backdrop. Okay, that's exactly what those, and it's just a single stamp. Okay, single red rubber stamp. Um, Magnolia Mood. Now, I live in Tennessee. Magnolias are big in the South, right? So, this is a stunning stamp set. It is part of a bundle, so there are dies that go with it. I do not have the dies over here, but um, it just it makes beautiful, beautiful cards. Whether you want to color these images, you want to use them as line art, they're just stunning. And you got this lovely happy birthday greeting. And I love just a note to let you know that you are loved. So that is the Magnolia Mood. And like I said, there are dies that go along with it that are that's wonderful. Simply Zinnia or Xenia, however you say it, is one of the more recent additions to the online store, and it has the stamps, the dies, the paper. There are embellishments. Let me think of where I have those right here, kind of at my fingertips, right, guys? Where are you? Oh my gosh, I had them yesterday. That's just the way it always is, isn't it? And when you have 90 drawers to open, they truly could be anywhere. Well, they're bright sequins in the colors that match this beautiful paper. Absolutely gorgeous. So, one of my favorite sketches, go-to sketches, is actually to cut my DSP like 4¼ by 4, and then a strip about an inch wide, maybe, I'm not doing my math very well here, but leave a border in the middle. And so cover the entire card front except a strip towards the bottom, and then stamp something like this, or a stamp set I have coming up, in that space, tie a ribbon around it. It's beautiful. And these papers, that greeting would be lovely with that. So here are the papers that go with this in case you haven't seen it. Layers already ready for you. You can cut these flowers out. I love that. That's purple in case you can't tell. Gorgeous grape. This beautiful green. This gorgeous pink. Now, when you run out of this, make your own by using a pink melon mambo and stamping the images on top of it, tone on tone. There's a little petal pink, a smaller pattern. And I think those are repeats, yeah, of the ones you've already seen. So that's the Zinnia bundle and more. It has the designer series paper with it. Then on to Sweetly Scripted. So this is another one that would work well in a strip like that. I should make one of those. I don't know that I have a sample of that, but these scripty things are like are good for going across like that. So that is called Sweetly Scripted. A Garden Meadow is an entire suite as well. It has a beautiful paper that it's hidden from me right now. I'll find it, but there's paper that's similar to the thoughtful expressions, thoughtful whatever in the new catalog. So it's that scenic paper, 6x6, dies that make like a garden gate. So that's a very nice bundle, and of course it has more pieces of it. I don't have the dies over here. Fluffiest Friends. So before we had heartwarming hugs, we had Fluffiest Friends online. So I'm curious if you regularly check out the online exclusive. We have 3 releases a year, and so the next one coming up is in July, and there are 30 products at least in each release. So we don't know, they don't have a definite lifespan. So they could be up for a very brief period of time, or they could be up much, much longer. Um, Softly Said. Okay, if you make thank you cards, you absolutely need this set because this big thank you is perfect. I like to make little 3x6 cards. So how amazing is that? Just that single stamp, a piece of ribbon, and I've got a sweet little card to drop in with customer orders. Um, just because the card is smaller doesn't mean that the envelope has to be. You can still put that in a large envelope if you want to, or a 4x4 card. Um, but this is great. These large greetings, um, for you are loved, thinking of you, thank you, celebrate, and just because. That would work well with that little strip that I like as well. Love this moment. So this is a stamp set that was in the catalog, the annual catalog that just retired. Uh, Fabulous for memory keeping, right? Look at this. Um, and I love the big smile and the big happy. It's just a stamp set. It's not part of a bundle, but Stampin' Up! Brought it back into the online exclusives, partly because you may be aware that Close to My Heart closed their doors in, I believe it was the end of April. And with that change to our industry, Stampin' Up! Is bringing more scrapbooking into our product line. They made a special offer to the demonstrators, the makers, that were with Close to My Heart to join our community, and we'll carry some. I think I said yesterday that we're going to start carrying some of their products, and there'll be more of this type product in future products with Stampin' Up! To encourage that memory keeping as well. So those are just a few examples. I also grabbed this. There is a suite in the online exclusives. I can't think of the name of it. Latte. Oh gosh, latte something. Would you believe I don't drink coffee? Um, I don't drink coffee. I love the smell of it though. And actually, Cindy would call me out because I did drink a little in Mexico. It was so good and rich. It was like really bitter chocolate. I love it. Okay, I'm gonna put these over here because I'm out of space. My stamps are a hot mess because they're retired and the new, they're all mixed up together. Um, yeah, it smells so good, Lou, but I don't drink it, but it was really good in Mexico. I brought some back for Greg. So this is the designer series paper. I didn't get the bundle and the stamp set because I don't drink coffee. I wouldn't really know how to put together, it just wouldn't appeal to me to stamp with that. But I loved the paper. The back sides, are okay. So yeah, those are coffee rings. But if I used it with something that wasn't coffee, it would just be a background, right? The coffee beans, similar thing. Of course, if I used it with the wrong thing, that somebody would think that was poop. Um, but look at this side. Isn't that fun? Bright in colors. Joyce, I love tea as well. Um, Peppermint tea in the evening is one of my favorite things. So little mugs and spoons on the back of this. Small enough that that doesn't jump out, but that could be hot chocolate, it could be anything, it could be coffee. There's nothing around. I don't have anything against coffee. I just personally don't drink it and didn't choose to get the bundle. I got the ribbon, I got the embellishments, I got the paper, and I absolutely adore these big splatters. And then this beautiful, I'm going to say this is Lost Lagoon. And then this big swirly pattern. And then the hearts. And then there's a swirl. I don't know that you can see the swirl very well behind it, but there's a very light swirl going on behind that. And then this bold swirl here. And then a Calypso Coral, maybe? Calypso Coral, Early Espresso, Lemon Lolly, Lost Lagoon, Pecan Pie, and Petal Pink are the colors in the paper. So that's really short today, but maybe that's okay. It's Friday night. We're beginning our long weekend. And I really didn't spend much time on the encore section. So let's see if there was anything that was in a much older. This was in the January to April catalog. This was in the annual catalog. I'm not sure where Wild Ferns was. So that was in the fall catalog. So these were previous bundles, either, in one of the last 3 catalogs. And so they have carried over into this period, but as individual items, they're not bundle pricing any longer. You will see as we go forward that there are some other products scattered about that carried over that aren't in this section. And that kind of confused me at first. Well, maybe it still confuses me, but they are going to be in the index. In previous catalogs, we had an icon with an N in it to indicate that something was new. And then anything without the N, we knew had carried over from somewhere else. They have done away with that. There's nothing to flag that it's new. They just put these in a section to tell us that these are returning. And then there are others that we've seen before that you're going to see in upcoming pages that are encore, but they're not in that section. They're just not, they just weren't bundles, I guess is what I have determined. Okay, so super short and sweet video there. Let me take a look at what I've got coming up so I can give you a heads up. Okay, so the scavenger hunt was the last thing that posted. That's a PDF, so you should be able to print it out okay, I hope. Have you all tried to do that yet? In the morning, the first official post will be at 8:30 in the morning, and it will be a door prize post. And then I will be live at 9. We're going to go through the new stamps at that time. And we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 live streams tomorrow to finish up our catalog. I have a few other graphics to put together, files to share with you. I just shared after the other video ended, just flipping through Facebook, found a post on the Stampin' Up page that featured the Enduring Beauty, Layers of Beauty. Shoot, I don't know, one of the two. So I shared those beautiful cards, and then I found, okay, that's fine, Lou. That absolutely works. If you don't print it, just make a list of your answers on a sheet of notebook paper. It's not a graded test. It's just fun to look through, and it's participation that counts. So I shared that post. I've run across some more made by Elisa Tilsner, so I'm probably going to post those in the group as well. Lots and lots of ideas. Now, I'm hoping that after we finish up tomorrow afternoon, that I can get busy and play with some of this new product that I have, and then return to live streams. I think Thursday is going to be the best day to do a live stream, and hopefully 3 or 4 o'clock. The earlier days in the week, I work too late in the day to do something. Mondays and Tuesdays are completely out. Wednesday is an early martial arts day, so might be able to move to Wednesday once Harden starts driving by himself. But right now, Wednesday won't work for that reason. But Thursday, I think is going to be the day. I'd love to do something at noon, but that's not always a time that's available. So um, we're just gonna have to see how well we can get those ducks to stay in the box. How about that? All right, I'm gonna let you all go. If you have any questions, I'll try and catch up with comments later this evening, and I will be back live at 9 o'clock Central tomorrow morning to walk us through all the new stamps in the catalog. And guys, there are uh, what 14 pages of them. They're so fun. There are more that are my absolute favorite. You know, the Tune In. Okay, that was really really high on my list. But there are some others that I've already purchased that are pretty up there too. So have a great evening. I'll be back in the morning. I hope you'll be able to join. Um, Stay safe. I think it's still stormy out here, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks, everybody. Bye bye.